My bad for that ending cut off. My phone had got lost. So I I didn't. I'm gonna just stop lying. I got tired, and I didn't want to make the part two or the other part of the what if Kakashi or what if Naruto only loved one person slash uh what if he became a rogue ninja? Yeah. So we get back to Kakashi. He's like, Tsunade. Naruto left the village, and Tsunade says, "What?" She says, "Naruto, he what?" And we're gonna say he not, and he gonna say, when he not to see, like we get back to Naruto. He not to see my boy walking out, and she runs up to him and says, "Naruto, where are you going?" He says, "I'm leaving this village, but I'll be back for you, Hinata. I promise." And she says, "You don't have to be back. I'm coming with you." And he looks up. I'm gonna say he's still frustrated and down, like he's still looking down. And he looks up and says, "Hinata." Well, he looks up in like a confused face, and he was like, he looks up in like a face like, I'm gonna say in a confused face, and he says, "Why are you coming with me?" And she says, "The only reason I've been spending a lot of time with you is because my dad kicked me out of my house because I was too weak." And Naruto said, "He did what?" And she said, Naruto couldn't let you. Oh my god. She says, "Naruto, let's just leave. Come on." If I click another thing. After she said, sorry, so sorry for that. After she says, "Naruto, let's just leave," he says, "Okay." And he picks her up, and she blushes. She blushes like she get red. Yes, sir, she get red. And then, hold on, I'll be right back. After she get red, basically, Naruto, he's like, actually, I ain't gonna do that. But, basically, Naruto, you know how he was jumping on the trees when he saved, what's the name of call it? Not when he saved Gaara and stuff like, or when he was going to Sasuke to help to get him back. Yeah, basically not the retrieval mission, but like when there was Gaara, when Sasuke was chasing Gaara. Yeah, basically that. So basically, Naruto, he said, when he just started moving through the trees. I'm gonna say Hokage sent Anbu after Naruto, and Nota. Who's Nota? Naruto and Hinata, they like 2 kilometers away. Cause I'm gonna say my boy, he got that speed from Minato, so they could like 2 kilometers away. And Naruto stops and says, he stops cause he needs to get a breath. And she gets up and says, "Naruto, you okay?" And he says, yeah. Just and they hear a creak in the bush. My boy Naruto, I'm gonna say my boy, he know. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna say my boy Naruto, he know like, he know a little bit of sacred stuff, or not sacred, like seal jutsu, like the Rasengan and Raijin and stuff like that. Yeah, basically, I'm gonna say actually, he knows them, but he doesn't know how to use them. He been training for them. So basically, Naruto, he does a kunai over there. He rushes over there in like 2 seconds, and basically, he started the kunai to the like it missed the Anbu. I'm gonna say this not the Anbu. I'm gonna say this Zabuza. Yeah, it missed Zabuza like his neck, and Zabuza was like, "Oh, it barely hit me." And then as soon as Zabuza like look forward, he sees Naruto with the kunai. Naruto got a kunai and it's pointed at his neck. And Zabuza's like, "Kid, I didn't mean any trouble." And he was like, just let me go and I won't have to kill you. And Naruto chuckles and says, you killing me is almost inevitable. I'm the nine-tails fox and you're just a man with a sword. And he says, I'm not an ordinary swordsman. He says, I'm one of the seven deadly swordsmen of the mist. And Naruto laughs and says, you're unknown in my village. Nobody knows you. And Zabuza, I'm gonna say Naruto, he like puts the kunai back. Yeah, and Zabuza gets up and he says, well, that's for your village. Every other village knows me, for I'm a legend. And he said, why are you here? Do you need some help? And he says, and why do you have that girl with you? Did you kidnap her? And Naruto says, stop asking so many questions. And no, I didn't kidnap her. I'm a rogue ninja. I'm gonna say he got his headband too. He says, I'm a rogue ninja. Can't you see? He points at his headband. And Zabu is like, Zabuwa. Who's Zabuwa? Zabuza says, Zabuza says, kid, you're pretty young to be a rogue ninja. And Naruto said, I would have to become a rogue ninja if my village didn't treat me like crap because I was just a Jinchuriki. And he said I was the strongest person there and they treated me like crap. I could have easily destroyed that village if I wanted to. Or really. He says I could have easily destroyed that village if I wanted to. And Zabuza says, kid, you know there's Jonin and Hokage is to stop you, right? And he says, I really don't care. I'll kill them all. He says, I can kill them all. And Zabuza chuckles. Naruto really can't kill him. He got that confidence that he can. And he says, after he says that, Zabuza says, let me train you. And he says, let me train you and that girl. And Naruto says, fine. But if you touch her or hurt her, I'm gonna kill you. And Zabuza says, yes. He said, yeah, okay, kid. And once Zabuza, Naruto and Zabuza, they start like, he picked Naruto up again. And they start like zooming through the trees. Like, yeah. They start thumbing through the trees. And basically, after they start thumbing through the trees, I'm gonna say Haku is following them. Cause like she was Zabuza. And Haku and Naruto says there's someone following us. As he says catch. He says, you better catch Hinata. And he throws Hinata to Zabuza and Zabuza catches her. He says, dang, you really crazy about this girl. And he goes to, and he says, wait, that might be Haku. And he says, what if it's not? And I'm gonna say he ambushes Haku. He clothesline, if y'all ever seen that movie, the first one, how Georgie got his stuff clotheslined by that boo board thingy or that water sign. That's exactly what happened to her. Clothesline. After she got clotheslined, basically, she fell onto the ground and she got right back up. She got right back up. And she said, who are you? And why are you with Zabuza? And he says, you must be Haku. And he says, how do you know my name? And he says, oh yeah, you are. Just follow me. And she says, I can't trust you yet. Tell me what you're doing with Zabuza. And he said he wanted to, Zabuza said he wanted to train me. So I said, yeah, he can train me. And Haku says, really? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say Haku, he looked more boyish instead of like, I was like, dang, who is that? I found out Haku was a boy. I was mad, boy. I was too. So basically, Naruto, he says, I'm gonna say his voice a little bit deeper too, not Haku's. He says, just follow me and I'll lead you to Zabuza. Haku still has some, should I follow him? She hesitates and she says, fine. And I'm gonna say she's up on her guard. And basically, Naruto, he gets to Zabuza and Haku says, Zabuza, is it, or Za- Naruto says Zabuza. Naruto says Zabuza, is this Haku? And he says, Zabuza says, yeah. Sorry for that. And basically, he says, Zabuza says, yeah, that's Haku. And Haku says, Zabuza. And Zabuza says, yeah. And Haku says, is it true that you were going to train this boy and that girl? And he says, yeah, I was. And Zabuza says, and Haku says, okay. And she says, we need to get moving. I sense that there are Ambu following us. And he says, okay. Naruto says, Ambu, huh? Must be from the leaf. And Haku, she don't know my boy Naruto Rogue yet. She looks at up his headband and says, oh, so you're a rogue ninja? He says, yeah, what does it look like? I'm a folk ninja. And Hinata chuckles. And he says, and Haku says, what are you chuckling for, huh? And when Haku says, what are you chuckling for, you brat? And Naruto says, I'm gonna say Naruto says, he said, he looks at Zabuza, or he looks at Hinata, and then he sees Hinata's like quiet, like down, and then after Naruto's like, Zabuza says, Hinata, or he says, Haku, don't say that. And Naruto says, you're gonna pay for that, you mutt. And he rushes Haku. And Zabuza says no. Zabuza says no. Don't kill her. And Naruto says, why shouldn't I kill her? Huh? And Naruto says, or Zabuza says, because she's my student too. And Haku says, yeah, I'm sorry for it. I really didn't mean it. I promise you, I won't say it again. He says, I promise you I won't say it again. And Naruto laughed and says, he laughed like maniacally, I don't know how to say it, maniacally, or he laughed like crazily. And he says, yeah, if you ever do, I'm gonna slit your throat and cut your body into pieces and feed it to some dogs. And I'm gonna say, Haku, she ain't saying nothing about Hinata again. So basically, she says, okay, I promise you I won't say anything. And basically, after she says, I promise you I won't say anything, Hinata, and I said Naruto, or she almost said, I'm gonna say, he says, now we need to get going. And he grabs Hinata off of Zabuza back. He grabs Hinata off of Zabuza. Like he holding her, he picks up Hinata. And he just started blitzing through the force with Zabuza and Haku. And I'm gonna say they've been going at this for like 2 hours. 45 minutes. And they get far enough. I'm gonna say they're at the border of the leaf now. They're at the border of the leaf. And basically, now that they're at the border of the leaf, Naruto says, we should set up camp. I don't think those Ambu will be able to catch up to us they probably have another day or two to be where we are. And Zabuza says, we need to keep going. And Naruto says, I don't have to listen. Naruto says, I don't have to listen to you. And after Naruto